Whoops. Wow. Greetings. Welcome. We are here. We are live. It is a beautiful day here in the San Francisco Bay Area. I am super excited. I am ready to go. I am full of vim. I'm full of vigor. I'm full of vim and vigor. Yes, we're ready to go. We like it. We like it. We got Darwin Sonata. Go Blue 49-0 over Michigan State, and Adam Kaufman. What will he respond? What can he respond? Of course, the NBA season has started. The Golden State Warrior. Is Jacob Krause going to show up to taunt me about the Warriors being winless so far in the season? An interesting game. Interesting game. Interesting team. It's going to take a while, I think, for them to develop their identity in their new iteration. But that's going on. Yeah, so I'm super excited. Sheree Mitchell, a local official, has been hired full-time by the NBA. So excited. She's awesome, and I look forward to seeing her on many broadcasts. So shout out to Sheree. Just tremendous. Always willing to give back to other officials, and super excited. Super excited. Jason Hayes is in the house. Tom Hickey as well. Hey, so what are we going to do today? We're going to be brisk. It's 7:01. We started on time. We started the live stream intro on time. Oh man, I'm feeling good. Sean, yeah, it's a process. It's a challenge. First of all, we have to recognize that creating tests to accurately assess the knowledge of the officials and make sure that they have that knowledge and can express it through a written test, is hard. It's hard. It's not easy. But vetting would help, because there's so many knowledgeable people, right? It's just, many Facebook groups, officiating.com. You ran the questions by officiating.com, all the people on there, on the basketball board, they would clean it up just like that. The rules book says 20 seconds. The official's manual. Ay. Yes. Whether you're a Michigan State fan or a Michigan fan, hit the like button. Yes. Good to see you, Wes from Ohio. They have issues there as well. I like the idea, Wes, of the running it past an educator, right? Somebody who's in the business of creating tests and assessments, etc., including them in the vetting process. Like it. Dylan, how are you? Good to see you in the chat. So Tom asks, what if you incorrectly signal the ball to the wrong team and give them a throw-in? Can that be rectified, or can we only rectify if the ball is awarded in the direction we signal? We can if we've given the ball to the wrong team, we can rectify. So I guess you're saying I'm not sure what you're saying, but just to review, if we have given the ball to the wrong team, I guess maybe you're suggesting there was an out-of-bounds play and we ruled in one direction and the crew did not come with information and we administered the throw-in, right? At that point, the deal is done. We're not going to, at that point, the ball's dribble. And one of the officials says, hey, wait a minute, partner, I got some info on that play. That was actually off of white. It should belong to blue, or et cetera. I mean, the time for us to come with information about an inaccurate evaluation about an out-of-bounds call would be before we administer the throw-in. The new rules change allows us, if we have erroneously given the ball to the wrong team. I remember very vividly, I was doing a St. Mary's girls game at St. Mary's College, or St. Mary's Prep in Albany, here in the Bay Area. And, we have a throw in, it's out of bounds. And, I'm observing my partner out on the court, etc. A player comes next to me. I hand them the ball, and the opponent is like, "What? What?" Because I'd given the ball to the wrong team had just stepped out of bounds, and I hadn't verified. I remember that very vividly. I mean, the good thing about officiating is all the things that you could possibly do wrong, yeah, you end up doing them at some point. Oy, oy, oy. Los Santon is in the house. Oh, good to see you. Awesome. Oh, well, certainly once the, yeah, I would think maybe we were unclear because we had poor signals at the spot. Usually, though, our partner is going to know what the ruling is because that's going to affect where they are on the court, etc. Yeah, exactly, Sean. North Carolina. Oh, excellent. All right. We're 7 minutes in. Let's get going. Okay. All right. Right, I got that. My audio is on. Everything's looking fantastic. All right, we continue with an evaluation, an explanation, an exploration of National Federation of High School Basketball rules. And the way that we're doing that is we are reviewing study guide questions, seeing what the question reveals about the rules and how we can get better with our understanding of those rules. So we continue today starting with question 101 of the California Study Guide questions. Let's go. Let's take a look. A1 has the ball, is airborne, and requests a timeout while he or she is going out of bounds or is going into Team A's backcourt. Which is true? A, the official shall grant the timeout in either case. B, the official shall not grant the timeout in either case. C, the official shall grant the timeout when going out of bounds, but not going into the backcourt. And D, the official shall grant the timeout when going into the backcourt, but not going out of bounds. Oh my gosh, so many choices, right? And this again, CBOA brings in possible rulings from other rule sets. In other rule sets, the officials are instructed not to grant the timeout when this player is in this position. But A1 has the ball. A1 is a player holding the basketball, whether they are on the court, in the air heading out of bounds, in the air heading in the backcourt. NFHS, player requests a timeout, we grant the timeout. They are entitled to that timeout by rule. That would be our answer on this play. Our answer will be A. The official shall grant the timeout in either case. In National Federation of High School rules, there is no restriction regarding a player holding the ball, going out of bounds, or going into the backcourt. No restriction at all. Next question. Team A has a designated spot throw-in. Before the throw-in begins, Team B requests a timeout. After the two teams return to the floor, following the conclusion of a timeout, the trail official administers the throw-in to B1. The officials notice their mistake after B2 catches the inbound pass and starts to dribble toward Team B's basket. New for 2023. We are going to handle this a little bit differently than in previous seasons. Our possible answers are: the officials should stop play and award a throw-in to Team A. B, because the throw-in has ended, the time frame for correcting the officiating mistake has passed. C, the officials should stop play and award a throw-in based on the alternating possession arrow. That's very creative. D, the officials should stop play and assess a technical foul to Team B for making a throw-in when it was not supposed to have possession of the ball. Okay. All right. Okay. Give me a sec. There. Go there. Yeah, let me do that over. There was obviously a problem with my text on that question. Oh. Team A has a designated spot throw-in. Before the throw-in begins, Team B requests a timeout. After the two teams return to the floor following the conclusion of the timeout, the trail official administers the throw-in to B1 instead of to Team A. The officials notice their mistake after B2 catches the inbound pass and starts to dribble toward the Team B basket. Possible answers are: A, the officials should stop play and award a throw-in to Team A. B, because the throw-in has ended, the time frame for correcting this officiating mistake has passed. C, the officials should stop play and award a throw-in based on the alternating possession arrow. Or D, the officials should stop play and assess a technical foul to Team B for making a throw-in when they were not supposed to have the ball. What would be our correct answer here? Obviously, new for 2023, we have the ability to correct a situation where we have erroneously given the ball to the wrong team for a throw-in. Previously, our opportunity to rectify this situation was once the throw-in had ended. If it was legally touched in bounds, our opportunity to make a correction would have ended as well. But now, cooler heads have prevailed, and we have a larger window of time to make that correction. The window of time would be until the ball becomes dead or until there is a change of possession. In this situation, the officials notice their mistake after a player has caught the ball, dribble toward the basket. Blow our whistle, stop play. That was erroneous. We're going to go back to the original spot. We are going to award the ball correctly to Team A. We're also instructed as officials, if we have knowledge of the time on the clock, which should be available to us after a timeout, at least the scorekeeper will note when that timeout was requested and granted, right? That's part of the scorebook. And we could take that information and rectify the running of the clock in that situation. So our correct answer here is A. The officials should stop play and award a throw-in to Team A. Correct the clock if that information is available. Which of the following results in a traveling violation? A1 ends a dribble with both feet off the playing court and lands simultaneously on both feet, then steps with one foot. B, have I done another typo? A1 ends a dribble with both feet off the playing court, lands on one foot, then jumps and lands on both feet simultaneously, then shoots the ball. That's got to be something. C, A1 ends a dribble with both feet off the playing court, lands on one foot, then jumps and lands on both feet simultaneously, then steps with one foot. D, A1 ends a dribble with both feet off the playing court, lands on one foot, jumps and lands on both feet simultaneously, then lifts one foot. Or E, A1 ends a dribble with both feet off the playing court, lands on one foot, jumps and lands on both feet simultaneously, and then passes the ball. Which of these 5 scenarios would result in a traveling violation? As I recall, last year, doing this study guide question, I may have gotten this one wrong. But my understanding of what a pivot has improved. Okay, so A is legal. Obviously, a player who ends a dribble in the air off the playing court and lands simultaneously on both feet and then steps with either foot, that is a legal play. In B, they end their dribble with both feet off the playing court, land on one foot, or jump rather off one foot, and land on 2 foot simultaneously. This is legal action using National Federation of High School Basketball rules. Jumping off one, landing on 2. What happens next, though, there are restrictions on that. Okay? Neither foot in that instance may be a pivot. A pivot would be defined as lifting one foot, establishing which foot would be the pivot if that foot that was lifted returned to the court. Which is a long way of saying on this question that our correct answer here is C. This would be a traveling violation. A1 ends the dribble, both feet off the playing court, lands on one foot, legal, jumps off that, lands on 2 feet, legal, and then steps with one of their feet, lifts and returns to the floor one of their feet. In that situation, that would be a traveling violation by rule. After the horn sounds to end the second half, with the score tied, A1 is assessed a technical foul for taunting. Which of the following are true? Team A shall shoot free throws immediately to determine if an overtime is needed. B, Team B shall shoot free throws to open the overtime period, after which a jump ball is administered. C, Team B shall shoot free throws to open the overtime period, after which Team B will receive a throw-in. Or D, Team B shall shoot free throws to open the overtime period, after which the team that has the alternating possession arrow in its favor will receive the throw-in. Well, obviously this is a critical point in the game and we want to get this right. Okay, let's evaluate what our situation is. After the horn sounds to end the second half and the score is tied, all activity related to the fourth period has ended. Players are they players? Individuals who are on the court are making their way to their benches, and before they do, A1 is assessed a technical foul for taunting. What happens next? Right? The game ended, or the period ended with the score tied. We will play overtime. By rule, we will play overtime. How will that overtime period begin? With the assessment of assessment of that technical foul, the penalty for that technical foul. 2 free throws to any player or eligible substitute, and the ball at the division line opposite the table. That's how we're going to start overtime. Okay. What we would also note is that this was during an intermission that this technical foul occurred. This would be a bench technical foul by rule, and our head coach would lose their privilege to stand and coach their team in overtime if they still had that privilege. So that's something to note on a play like this as well. So our correct answer here would be C. Team B shall shoot free throws to open the overtime period, after which Team B shall receive a division line throw-in opposite the table, and the arrow would be set to Team A. Obviously, an end of game situation, whether or not we play overtime, if we get that wrong, that's a disaster, right? We need to know these situations backwards and forwards so we can do what's right for the game at that point. All right. What is the result when a player makes incidental contact with the net while the ball is on the basket, and that contact with the net has no effect on whether the ball successfully enters the basket or not? If a tree falls in the forest, is there a sound? Yeah. A, no penalty. Play shall resume uninterrupted. B, basket interference. C, goaltending. Or D, a technical foul. Okay, the ball is on the basket, and our player has contacted what? The net, which is part of what? Right? It is part of the basket. This is a basket interference violation by rule. We always may be reluctant, they tickled the twine, let's say, at the bottom of the net, and you could see that it has no impact at all. But by rule in this situation, that is a basket interference violation. That would be our ruling. Next play. If an official erroneously cancels a goal in the first period, when is the last available time in which the error can be corrected? A, before the second quarter begins. B, before the second half begins. C, before the referee approves the final score at the end of the game. Or D, before the second live ball after the error occurs. Our official has erroneously canceled a goal. This is a correctable error situation by rule. Our correct answer here would be D, before the second live ball after the error occurs. Okay. Let me go back. A10 checks into the game early in the second quarter. After a few possessions, the game officials notice that she is wearing a hard plastic hair clip to keep her ponytail in place. A10 should be assessed a technical foul for participating while wearing an illegal hair control device. B, the hair clip is illegal because it is hard, protrudes from the head, and may easily be dislodged. Should be removed when it is noticed and there is no additional penalty. C, Team A's head coach should be assessed a technical foul for allowing a player to enter the game wearing an illegal uniform. Or D, the hair clip is the same color as Team A's primary jersey color, so it is legal. Okay, I might have some issues with this ruling on this play, right? So we have a hard plastic clip that protrudes from the head, okay? So our answer here is going to be that it is illegal because it is, all of the things. Hard, protrudes from the head, and could easily be dislodged. It should be removed when it's noticed, and there is no additional penalty. That is a true statement. Obviously, there is no technical fouls involved with wearing anything illegal except a jersey, right? This is not a jersey situation. This is a player equipment situation. This is a hair control device and should be removed. But by rule, if we have somebody who is illegally equipped, they should be directed to leave the game, right? So it should be removed when it is noticed, which is our correct answer, B. And there's no additional penalty. There is no additional penalty, but that player should be directed to leave the game. Now, in your game, player has something, a rubber thing on their wrist. We say, hey, we got to get rid of that, right? Very informal how we handle it, but we're doing rules evaluation here. So let's talk about by rule that player should be direct. Let's say she was wearing earrings. Oh, we could just have them removed and the play continues. No, direct them to leave the game. When they have the situation rectified, they may return without penalty. After the game's opening jump ball has been tipped, but before it is controlled by any player, A1 fouls B2. When shall the alternating possession arrow be set to point toward Team A's basket? Ooh, minutia. A, immediately after A1's foul is reported. B, prior to the ball being put at the disposal of Team B for the throw-in. C, after the ball is placed at the disposal of Team B for the throw-in. Or D, after Team B's throw-in ends. This is a test question. This is what this is. Does this have a big impact on how we're going to officiate the game? No. This is a bit of minutia. Our correct answer here would be C. After the ball is placed at the disposal of Team B for the throw-in, right? And this is the game's opening jump ball. The arrow would be set. After Team A had previously been given a warning for delay for breaking the throw-in plane during a Team B throw-in in the first half, A1 reaches through the boundary on a Team B throw-in during the second half. What is the result? A, player technical foul. B, team technical foul. C, a player substitute technical foul. What? Or D, administrative technical foul. Again, it's a situation where, all officials know, hey, that's a technical, right? We need to know what kind of technical it is that can have an impact on players, teams, etc., and how we're going to administer the situation. Okay, after a team had previously been given a warning for delay, we have a second act which would rise to the level of a warning for delay, and this is, by rule, a team technical foul. 2 free throws, any player or eligible substitute, and a division line throw-in opposite the table for the offended team. It is not a player technical, even if the original warning was for the same player violating the boundary plane. Now, this rule is different at other levels. In other levels, it may be on the player, but in high school, delay of game warning, second offense of something in that vein would result in a team technical foul by rule. Again, answer C here brings in, collegiate language, but our correct answer here is B. This is a team technical foul by rule. Which of the following is true of fighting? A, it can only occur when the ball is live. B, it can only occur when the ball is dead. C, it results in a flagrant foul. Or D, only players can be penalized for fighting. Which of the following is true? Hold on. Okay, which of these is true? It can only occur when a ball is live. That is not a correct statement. B, it can only occur when the ball is dead. That is not a correct statement. Or D, only players can be penalized for fighting. That is an incorrect statement. Our correct answer here would be C. It does result in a flagrant foul for any participant, obviously, in a fight. Yes, that is a true statement. Obviously, coaches, let's say there's a situation on the court. Coach A comes to address the situation. Coach B comes to address the situation. They start doing this, and then, oh no. Have you ever had that in your game? 2 coaches going at it? But obviously, people who bench personnel who come off a bench can participate in a fight. And so our correct answer here is C. It does result in a flagrant foul to anybody who's involved with fighting. Okay. Oh. Thursday's questions, Billy, will be, there's going to be, what I did is there will be NFHS, but there's some shot clock questions, right? And so shot clocks are handled differently by different states. I believe that Connecticut does have a shot clock, right? I think so. You said in the past. So there will be some shot clock questions on there. Yeah. So they may or may not apply, but I wanted to include some shot clock questions. So that's what we have going tomorrow. Thank you, Billy. Oh. Good morning, David. Moscow? Is that how you pronounce it? Do you pronounce it Moscow? Oh. Okay. All right. Tell you what I'm doing. I'm going to go to here. Team A's jerseys have the school name horizontally placed in the allowable area in the front of the jersey and the school's nickname horizontally placed in the allowable area on the back of the jersey. Is this allowed by rule? A, only the team name is allowed on the front of the jersey. A single administrative technical foul should result due to illegal uniforms. Creative. B, only the team name is allowed on the back of the jersey. A single administrative technical foul shall be the result due to illegal uniforms. Only a school logo is allowed on the front and the back of the team jerseys. A single administrative technical foul shall result due to the illegal uniforms. Or D, both school name and team name can be placed on the front and or the back of the jersey. This is legal and no penalty results. Okay. So, several of these questions suggest an administrative technical foul due to an illegal uniform. If a uniform is deemed to be illegal, all players may continue to participate. So, there's something about the jersey that is deemed to be illegal. This is a point of emphasis for 2023. It is deemed to be illegal. What is the penalty for an illegal uniform? It's a direct technical foul on the head coach. It's not a team foul. It's not an administrative technical. It is a direct technical foul on the head coach for players participating wearing an illegal jersey. We have to know that. Okay? Coach would lose their privilege to stand and coach their team, etc. That was if we had an illegal jersey. In this instance, we do not have an illegal jersey. Both of these situations are legal by rule. No penalty. Which of these results in a violation by Team A during A1's designated spot throw-in? A2, who's in Team A's front court, deflects the ball from the front court to the back court and then goes into the back court to gain control of the ball. Well, that looks funny. B, A2 leaps from Team A's front court, catches the ball, and lands with both feet in Team A's back court. C, A2 leaps from Team A's front court, catches the ball, lands with one foot in Team A's front court, and then the second foot lands in the back court. Or D, no violation. These are all legal plays. Are any of these things illegal by rule? In situation A, we have no team control on the court until the player gains control of the ball in the backcourt. We can't have a backcourt violation. In situation B, we have the exception to the throw-in rule, which allows a player to jump from the front court, grab the ball in the air, and land in the backcourt. And C addresses the same situation where they catch the ball one foot lands in the front court and the other in the back court, the exception still applies. A player may make a normal landing when the exception occurs, jump in the air, catch the ball, make a normal landing. It matters not which foot lands first. As long as it's a normal landing, the exception applies, and that would be a legal play, as are all of these scenarios legal plays by rule. Yeah, we got to get these right. Got to get them right. Moving on. If an official erroneously cancels a goal in the first quarter, when is the last available time in which the error can be corrected? This is sounding familiar. A, before the second quarter begins. B, before the second half begins. C, before the referee approves the final score to end the game. Or D, before the second live ball after the error occurs. This would seem to be a duplicate of a previous question, and our answer then was D, before the second live ball. This is a correctable error scenario by rule. Team A is wearing red uniforms. The officials notice that A12 has a red hair control device, A22 has a white hair control device, and A32 has a yellow hair control device. Chaos reigns. Our possible choices here are A, only one player's is legal because it matches the... Right, let's cut to the chase on a question like this. There are no color restrictions on hair control devices. There are none. What is a hair control device? A hair control device is something that controls simply hair, right? It would a ponytail in the back, right? There's a rubber band that goes around it. There's pre-wrap that goes around it, etc. Headbands, by rule, right, which some confuse between hair control because they're wearing, some pre-wrap around their head, and it's obviously there to control their hair, so we think, oh, hair control device, right? A headband is something that goes completely around the head, got some skull in betwixt it. That would be a headband and would have color restrictions. Hair control devices have no such color restrictions. D, all of the hair control devices are legal because there are no color restrictions on hair control devices. How many free throws are awarded for an intentional foul? Gotta know this. Gone it over many times here on the channel. A, one free throw in all situations. B, no free throws if committed by the team in control. Well, that makes sense, does it? It's a team control foul. C, one free throw if committed on a successful 2-point or 3-point try. D, two free throws if committed on a successful 2-point try, and 3 free throws if committed on an unsuccessful 3-point try. The penalty for an intentional foul is always 2 free throws to the offended player and the ball to the team at the spot nearest the foul, unless it is a missed 3-point try, and then it is 3 free throws to the player and the ball to the team at the spot. Okay? We can be confused in some situations, like there's an intentional foul and the ball goes in and our brain says, and one, right? Is it appropriate for our brain to use that language? Tisk, tisk. But an intentional foul, always 2. In the one exception would be if an unsuccessful 3-point try. So our correct answer here is D. We have to know this, something we can get right as a crew. If our partner wants to indicate 1, we can come with the correct ruling in this situation. Always, always, always 2 free throws to the offended player and the ball to the team, except in the one instance when it's an unsuccessful 3-point try. A player who has been withdrawn may re-enter upon the next opportunity to substitute. A, after the clock has properly started following his or her replacement. B, when the opponents have committed a violation or foul before the game clock has properly started. C, when an officials or scorer's error occurs in reporting/recording a foul, which results in a player being replaced. Or D, all of the above. A player who has been replaced on the court, withdrawn, is odd language, right? A substitute has entered the game and a player has left the game. When may they return by rule? They may return after the clock has properly started. So A is going to be our correct answer. Let's look at situation B. So let's say the ball has gone out of bounds in the front court. A player on defense leaves, is replaced by a substitute. The ball is awarded to the opponent. The opponent can't find anybody to throw it to. 5-second violation. Ball back to the original team or the team. And now our coach says, "Oh, I need you to get in to play offense in this situation." That player may not return because even though the ball became live and there was basketball played in that there was a violation that occurred during the throw-in, that player may not return by rule until the clock has properly started. They cannot return until the clock properly starts. So our correct answer here is A, or maybe I misunderstood this question. What am I getting wrong here? When an official's or scorer's error occurs in reporting or recording a foul which results in the player being replaced. What are we looking at here? 16. Re-enter during the next opportunity to substitute when an official's or scorer's error occurred in reporting. But this is the answer that is given by the study guide, right? So I don't know what the actual online test reflects. But let's talk about situation C. So when an official's or scorer's error occurs in recording a foul, player A1 commits a foul in the first period, and the scorer thinks that they have two fouls because they made a mistake on a previous foul. I don't know the logic of this. That for some reason the coach says, "Oh, I have to remove this player." Okay, or let's say it was the fifth foul, right? Player commits their fifth foul. They are instructed to leave. A substitute is brought in. We're about to resume play, and the visiting book then goes and says, "Hey, wait a minute, I have 4 fouls on that player. We're going to stop. We're going to evaluate the situation. We have potential." Or the coach goes to the table and says, I want to request a timeout because we have an issue with the book." So would C be wrong? But B is definitely incorrect. When the opponents have committed a violation or foul before the game clock has properly started. So let's say during the throw-in that resulted from that out-of-bounds violation, the player gets substituted out. During the throw-in, rather than a violation, there's a foul that occurs. Still, that player cannot return until the clock has properly started. So it's not all of the above. It would seem to be A and C. C is the answer given, but A is obviously correct. We're going to leave it there. We're going to leave it there. All right. A1 is making a throw-in along the sideline in Team A's backcourt. A1 makes the throw-in to A2, who is standing in Team A's front court. B2 tips the pass immediately off the throw-in. A2 jumps from Team A's front court, catches the pass in the air, and lands in Team A's backcourt. What is the result? Here's the result. This question will appear on every single basketball rules test you ever take. This is a standard, let's say, test question, right? Right, because we have action on the court, throw in, player jumps from their front court, catches the ball in the air, and lands in the backcourt. We know that there's an exception to the rule that allows that, but that exception only exists during a throw-in. When does a throw-in end? When does a throw-in end? It ends when it is legally touched on the court. When B2 tipped the basketball, the throw-in had ended. The exception no longer applies. Okay? So our correct ruling on this play is this is a backcourt violation because B2's touching ended the throw-in. Since no exception then applies, A2 possessed the ball with front court status and lands in the backcourt, causing a violation. So this is a very common test question and a very uncommon play in your game. A5 makes a nice move, scores a 2-point goal. Thinking that a foul should have been ruled, A5 complains loudly and is assessed a technical foul. While the official reports the technical foul on A5, Team A's coach is whistled for a technical foul. How many free throws does Team B shoot, and where will the ball be put in play after attempting the free throws? Right? We have a player technical, and then we have a direct technical on the head coach. That sounds like 2 technical fouls, resulting in 4 technical foul free throws. And after the last administration of the penalty related to the coach's technical, we would have a division line throw-in opposite the table. So it sounds like we're going to have 4 free throw attempts and the ball at the division line opposite the table. Let's look at our answer. 2 free throws and a throw-in along the end line. Don't do that. Do not do that in your game. B, 4 free throws for Team B and a designated spot throw-in at the division line opposite the table for Team B. I don't even want to look at the creative answers for C and D. After A1's try is released and is in flight, the official inadvertently blows the whistle, but the ball hits the ring, but the try is unsuccessful. What is the result? Okay, so we have a dead ball. Whose ball is it? How are we going to determine that? It's nobody's ball. Team control ended on the release of the try. It's nobody's ball, and the ball is dead. How do we get ourselves out of that situation? We always go to the possession arrow. That is how we resolve situations like this. Understanding that team control ended on the try, and we have an inadvertent whistle situation, we're going to award the ball to the team that has the possession arrow. Our correct answer on this would be C, throw into the team entitled to the alternating possession arrow. And it would be at the spot nearest to where the try ended. Okay, so this would be near the basket. If this was if the team who attempted the try was going to retain possession using the alternating possession, it would be one of the 4 throw-in spots in the front court. While making a throw-in from the backcourt, A1 passes the ball directly to A3 in the front court. A3 muffs the ball, and the ball bounces directly into the backcourt, where A4 retrieves it. A, backcourt violation by Team A. B, legal play because there was no team control in the front court by Team A. C, a traveling violation by Team A. Or D, an illegal dribble violation by Team A. Okay, so we have a player with team control on the court in the backcourt, throws to a teammate with front court status who can't handle the pass. It bounces into the backcourt, and A4 retrieves the basketball. Okay, what do we have in this situation? Team control on the court. The ball gained front court status with the touch by A3. They were the last to touch the ball in the front court, and then A4 was the first to touch in the backcourt. This is a backcourt violation. Oh, crap. Perfect. I'm so glad. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. While making a throw-in from the backcourt, A1 passes the ball directly to A3 in the front court. A3 muffs the ball, and the ball bounces directly into the backcourt, where A4 retrieves it. During this throw-in, our possible answers are A, a backcourt violation by Team A, B, a legal play because there was no team control in the front court by Team A, C, a traveling violation by Team A, or D, an illegal dribble violation by Team A. In order to have a backcourt violation, right? So during a throw-in, there is team control given to the throwing team. So we have team control, right? Or do we? Right? The team control that's given during a throw-in is only for the administration of fouls. In order to have a backcourt violation in this situation, during a throw-in, we must establish team control on the court. After that's been established by player control on the court, then it's possible to subsequently have a backcourt violation. So in this situation, our throw-in was mishandled by A3 with front court status, but they never controlled the basketball. Team control was not established until A4 retrieved it in the backcourt, making this a legal play by rule because there was no team control on the court, right? I would maybe conflict with this language. We don't have to have team control in the front court necessarily. I'm picking nits, but B is our correct answer. Moving on. Wait, no, we're not moving on. I want to go here. Did I pull my ass out of the fire on that one? Oh, when I'm reading the questions, I can't always perceive what's being said. Ay, ay, ay. Moscow. Moscow, David? No cow in Moscow. Billy, I wouldn't. I think you're referring to the try that misses, and then there's an inadvertent whistle while the ball is in flight. That spot of the throw-in would be where the try ended, because the ball has not become dead. Doesn't become dead until the try ends. If that's what you're talking about. Okay. Ooh, right. So this is what I have to do. I have to go here and then go. Which are true of correcting bookkeeping or timing errors? A timing error must be corrected in the half or extra period in which it occurred, and a bookkeeping mistake can be corrected at any time until the referee approves the final score. Well, that sounds correct. B, a timing error can be corrected at any time until the referee approves the final score, and a bookkeeping mistake must be corrected in the half. That's wrong. Both A and B, or neither A and B. Our correct answer here is A. A timing error must be corrected in the half or extra period in which it occurred, and a bookkeeping mistake can be corrected at any time until the referee approves the final score. Critical is that second part. A bookkeeping error. They failed to note a score. They erroneously counted a score due to, not to the officials ruling that that was a goal or this goal should be canceled, but rather the person involved making a human error, right? Those things can be corrected. A timing error must be corrected in the half or extra period in which it occurred. I guess an example of that would be we start overtime and we start it with 5 minutes because we have a collegiate official on the game and they say 5 minutes for overtime. The game, at some point, let's say at 4:15, the officials recognize, oops, wait a minute, we made a mistake. We have to fix that, I suppose. Team A has team control of the ball in its backcourt for 9 seconds when A1 is granted a timeout. How many seconds does Team A have to advance the ball into the front court following the timeout? 10 seconds, 9 seconds, 1 second, or 0 seconds? What would be our correct answer, right? By rule, a team is allowed 10 seconds. In high school, that 10 seconds would be reset, I'm going to assume a couple things. At other levels, let's say at NCAA women's, which CBOA questions often mimic or bring reference to, in collegiate rules, they would have 1 second in this situation to get across. High school, it's reset on the resulting throw-in. If they indeed throw it into the backcourt, then the team would have 10 seconds to establish for the ball to gain front court status. So our correct answer here is A. During pregame warm-ups, the game officials noticed that B25 is wearing his hair in free-flowing braids that feature hard plastic beads at the end of the hair. Team B is wearing white uniforms, and the beads are also white. A, the beads are legal because they match the primary uniform color. B, the beads should be legal no matter the color because they are a hair control device and are not subject to color restrictions. C, the beads are illegal because they are not tightly secured and could cause injury to other players as the hair moves around. Or D, the beads are illegal because the players are never allowed to wear hard plastic items in their hair. A couple of years ago, the rule was changed, allowing players to potentially wear hard plastic items in their hair, but the caveat is that the hair has to be controlled and close to the head. In this situation, we have hard plastic beads that could swing as a player turned their head quickly and definitely cause injury to other players. So, as worn, this player would not be allowed to participate. Could they find a solution and secure their free-flowing hair tightly to their head and continue to participate? Yes, they could. But as is, our correct answer here would be C. The beads are illegal because they are not tightly secured and could cause injury. I would not want to be hit by that situation if the player swung their head quickly. A double personal foul is ruled in the front court near the sideline while A1's try for goal is in flight. The try is successful. Team A has the possession arrow. Where is the resulting throw-in and by which team? Whoa, how are we going to handle this situation? Double personal foul in the front court near the sideline during a try, and the try goes in. Oh my gosh. A designated spot throw-in for Team A. B, a designated spot throw-in for Team B. C, a non-designated spot throw-in along the end line for Team A, or a non-designated spot throw-in along the end line by Team B. All right, what do we have? A1 releases a try. Two players, let's say under the basket, are involved in mortal combat, pulling each other, and the officials rule a double foul. Double foul. Double, double, double. Always double. Report both fouls. No free throws attempted. Resume at the point of interruption. That's our formula for a double, right? What is the point of interruption? Did the double foul cause the ball to become dead? You have to know this. No, it did not. The ball goes through the basket. We are going to score that goal. That is our point of interruption. Scored goal by Team A. What happens after a scored goal by Team A? Team B would be awarded a throw-in on the end line, and it's not a designated spot throw-in. So our correct answer here would be D, a non-designated spot throw-in along the end line by Team B. Might have to do some, this is going to be an unusual situation. Might have to slow down, process what we have, but always double foul. Report both fouls, no free throws attempted, and resume at the point of interruption. While A1 is dribbling near the 28-foot mark outside the three-point line, B3 is guilty of a holding foul for impeding the movement of cutting A3 near the free throw lane line opposite of where A1 is dribbling. Where is the ensuing throw-in? Well, I'm going to have to sort out what all those words mean. A, near the spot where A1 was dribbling along the sideline. B, on the end line nearest to where A3 was fouled. C, on the end line at the 3-foot mark nearest to where A3 was fouled. Or D, on the sideline nearest to where A3 was fouled. Okay, where is the foul? The foul occurs at near the free throw line opposite where right? The spot of the throw-in will be at the spot nearest the foul. But unlike previous season, it's going to be at the one of the 4 throw-in spots nearest the foul. It sounds from this word salad that the resulting throw-in will be on the end line at the 3-foot mark nearest where A3 was fouled. Of course, in high school, we're not going to have necessarily a mark. We would not expect a mark. We have marks at other levels, but not in high school. Schools are not required to have that mark on the court, and we wouldn't expect there to be one. We have to, as officials, make a judgment of what the 3 feet outside of the free throw lane line is. So our correct answer here is C. After A1 throws a ball that enters the basket from below, all of the following are true except which? Which of these is not true? It's going to help me answer the question. It is a violation on A1 if the ball enters the cylinder, goes above the ring, and then falls back through the net. B, it is not a violation if the ball enters the cylinder, does not go above the ring, and then falls back through the net. C, it is a violation on A1 if the thrown ball was first deflected by B2, enters the cylinder, goes above the ring, and then falls back through the net. Or D, it is a violation on B2 if the thrown ball was first deflected by B2, enters the cylinder, goes above. So many choices. Our correct answer here is C. This is the one that is not true. C is not true. It is a violation on A1 if they throw the basketball and the defender, B2, contacts the ball and the ball goes up in that fashion and enters the basket from below. In that situation, the violation would be on the person who is last to touch, and that would be on Team B. So our correct answer here to this question, with many words in the answers, is C. It's a violation on A1. This is the one that is incorrect by rule. A1's legal throw-in is bouncing untouched in Team A's backcourt. An official improperly whistles a timeout for Team B. Is that timeout request granted? Oh my goodness. A, Team B's timeout is granted. That can't possibly be true. B, Team B's timeout is not granted. C, an inadvertent whistle must be ruled. Or D, play shall resume as if no whistle went off. Okay, our official has made a mistake in this situation. What is the correct way to handle this? By rule, okay, by rule. Though it's non-intuitive, we grant the timeout. A timeout was requested, a timeout was granted. Should it have been granted in this situation? No. Our official has made an error. But by rule, we grant the timeout. Okay? We grant the timeout. That's the correct answer here for this test question. Players may wear mouth guards. Is that true or is that false? Now, we have to ask ourselves, is this my favorite question of the entire 4 episodes? Yes. Yes, it is. Why? Because there's so few words. Players may wear mouth guards. Our answer here is absolutely true, right? Players may wear mouth guards. Thanks. Are players required to wear mouth guards? No. No, they are not. A1 steps out of bounds along the end line to avoid a defender and then steps back inbounds and immediately receives a pass from A2. Which of the following is the result? A, no penalty, continue play uninterrupted. B, A1 shall be assessed a technical foul. Or C, A1 has committed a violation. A1 steps out of bounds along the end line to avoid a defender, right? So they voluntarily left the court and then steps back inbounds and immediately receives a pass. They have voluntarily left the court and then they are subsequently the first to touch the ball upon returning to the court. By rule, this year, it would have been a violation to leave the court in previous years, but by rule in this situation, our correct answer is C. A1 has committed an out-of-bounds violation because they voluntarily left the court and were the first to touch the basketball upon returning to the court. A player strikes the backboard with his or her hand. What is the result? Oh, that's got to be something. A, goaltending. B, a legal play if attempting to block a shot, or a technical foul if the player intentionally and excessively strikes the backboard. C, basket interference. D, both B and C. Okay. Our player has intentionally or has struck the backboard. Okay. Basket interference, if I recall, basket interference involves the basket. Does it involve the backboard? No. No, it does not. Basket interference is off the table when a player contacts the backboard. Goaltending is, I believe that a player has to touch the basketball to have a goaltending violation, so that's off the table. And obviously D would be off the table. Our correct answer here is this is a legal play if they are attempting to block a shot in the official's judgment, or it is a technical foul on the player. A player technical if the player intentionally strikes the backboard. Does it have to be excessively in that situation? I believe that word is not part of the rule. I could be wrong. Anything's possible, but I know that our correct answer to this question is B. After which of these unsuccessful free throw attempts shall the ball remain live? A, the first free throw after a common foul with 5 defensive team fouls. B, the second free throw after a common foul with 5 defensive team fouls. C, the second free throw attempt after a flagrant foul. Or D, the second free throw attempt after an intentional foul. After which of these will the ball remain live? Okay, with an intentional foul and a flagrant foul, the lane is cleared and we will resume the game with a throw-in. So it's not flagrant and it's not intentional. If we look at A, and recognizing this year, of course, we shoot bonus free throws after the 5th foul in a period or quarter. And so after the first free throw of bonus free throws, we would obviously have a second merited free throw. So we will not have a throw-in after that situation. Long way around to get to the answer, which would be B, the second free throw after the common foul with 5 defensive team fouls. This would be bonus free throws. After the second free throw, the ball will be live. Oy, oy, oy. That was a long way around on that one. Do you see how I dodged going on the inadvertent whistle during the throw-in that's bouncing untouched? About how we would... it was bouncing untouched, not deflected. I like that. I like that. The player's flow was strong. Okay. No. When may a team called timeout be reduced in length? Team requests a timeout. It's a 60-second timeout. The timeout is granted. When may we shorten and not use the full 60 seconds? A, when the team that called the timeout is ready to play. B, when the non-calling team is ready to play. C, only when both teams are ready to play. Or D, never. A team called timeout shall not be shortened. That's not a thing. That's not a thing, right? If both teams are ready to play, we do not have to wait until the full 60 seconds has expired. We can resume the game at that point. Our correct answer on this one is C. Only when both teams are ready to play. If Team A requested the timeout, all they had was full timeouts, 60-second timeouts. He said, I just want a sub. I just wanted to get a sub in the game. It's late in the game, etc. The game's been decided, etc. Ask the opposing coach, Coach, you want the timeout? He says, yeah. Yeah, he only has 5 players, and they need the rest, etc. Do they get the full 60 seconds? Absolutely. If they come out early and both teams are ready to play, we can shorten by rule. Which of the following is not a kicking violation? Which is not a kicking violation? A1's pass to A2 unintentionally hits B3's foot. B3 intentionally deflects the pass between A1 and A2 with his or her thigh. This is a kicking violation. C, B3 intentionally deflects the pass between A1 and A2 with his or her knee. Or D, B3 intentionally deflects the pass between A1 and A2 with his or her foot. Any part of the leg intentionally contacting the ball with any part of the leg is a kicking violation, whether that's the foot, the knee, the thigh, or the calf. I don't know. The correct answer here is which one is not a kicking violation? When there is unintentional contact on a leg, in this instance, on a foot. So A is the correct answer. The throw-in that follows the free throws for a single flagrant personal foul committed against the offense in its backcourt shall be, where is this throw-in that follows the free throws? Given to the offended team at the division line. B, given to the offended team at the spot nearest the foul. C, given to the offended team at the point of interruption. Or D, given to the team entitled to the alternating possession throw-in at the division line. Ref. Don't do that. Don't do that. Okay, we have a flagrant foul. Flagrant personal foul. What is the penalty for a flagrant personal foul? It is 2 free throws to the offended player or their eligible substitute, should they not be able to. This was a flagrant foul. It might have been very violent or savage in nature, right? And the ball to the team at the spot nearest the foul. In the backcourt, that would be the spot nearest the foul as we have traditionally handled it. If that instead of the backcourt, as this play was, it was in the front court, it would be one of the 4 designated spot throw-ins nearest the foul. Okay, so our correct answer on this play is, since this was in the backcourt, given to the offended team at the spot nearest the foul. Team A is issued a technical foul for an excessive timeout. How is play resumed? A, Team A is not granted a timeout. B, Team A is awarded a timeout and assessed a technical foul for an excessive timeout. Yes. C, Team B shoots 2 free throws and play is resumed with the throw-in for the Team B at the opposite the division line. Or D, both B and C. All right, so we have a situation where a team is requesting a timeout when they do not have any timeouts remaining. Whether that request comes from the head coach or one of the 5 players on the court, we have a situation where we have an excess timeout. That is a team technical foul by rule. But the team is entitled to the timeout, and we will administer the penalty for this action after play is resumed after the timeout. Okay, so we grant the timeout, the team takes the timeout, we will return to the court, administer the penalty for an excessive timeout, which is a team technical on Team A. Team B, any player, eligible substitute, 2 free throws, and the ball at the division line opposite the table. So our correct answer here would be, I believe, D, because both B and C are true. The 4th quarter ends with the score tied 60-60. As the players for the 2 teams walk towards their respective benches, A1 curses at one of the officials because no foul was called on a last-second shot attempt. The officials assess a technical foul against A1. Oh no. No. Too many words. Okay, let's just slow down, right? The fourth quarter ends with the score tied 60-60. What does that tell your brain as a basketball official, right? What the quarter ends and the score is tied. We are going to play overtime. One of the people on the court, A1, is assessed a technical foul. Well, we're obviously going to penalize that technical foul. I guess the question comes, how are we going to do things in this situation? What has occurred here? What do we know by rule? Right? Rather than look at these scenarios, let's just talk about what we have. We have A1 is assessed a technical foul. We will begin the overtime period with the administration of the penalty for that. 2 free throws to the opponent and the ball at division line opposite the table. That's how the overtime period will begin. Of course, the other thing we recognize that this is an intermission. The period has ended. Intermission between the 4th period and the 1st overtime. Therefore, this player, A1, is bench personnel by rule. This would also be an indirect technical foul on the head coach. Okay? A lot of things to sort through here, but our first reaction to this situation is we're going to play overtime. All right, so our correct answer on the question itself is the free throws awarded to Team B are part of the extra period. Following the 2 free throws, Team B will have a designated spot thrown at the division line opposite the table, and Team A will have the alternating possession arrow. There will be, and again, right, not mentioned here, there would be an indirect. Our head coach would have lost their privilege to stand and coach their team. Under what conditions is the resumption of play procedure used? A, when a team does not make a free thrower available for a free throw following a timeout or intermission between quarters. B, when a team does not make a thrower available for a throw-in following the halftime intermission. C, when a team does not make a thrower available for a throw-in following a timeout or intermission between periods. Or D, all of the above. Okay, do I have an issue with these answers? When a team does not make a free thrower available for a free throw following a timeout or intermission between quarters, the resumption of play procedure would be used. We would place the ball at the free throw line. It would be considered at the disposal of the thrower. They would ultimately violate in this situation. C, when a team does not make a thrower available for a throw-in following a timeout or intermission between periods. So it's the end of the first period. Team has a division line throw-in opposite the table. Horn sounds. Hey, first horn, first horn. One team comes out. They're ready to play defense. The other team, doesn't come out, right? We do all the things, et cetera, but ultimately we place the ball down. Now, B, when a team does not make a thrower available for a throw-in following the halftime intermission, what is the procedure when it... Okay. So I'm reading into this question. I'm saying this team is not yet out of the locker room. And that would be bad on me, right? If the team had not yet returned to the court and would therefore be delaying the start of the period by more than a minute, then we would handle this somewhat differently. But I guess what we're saying is the team is here for the halftime intermission. They are present, but they are not making a thrower available. So indeed, in that instance, we would use the resumption of play procedure. I've almost went down the wrong rabbit hole, but we got it right. So our correct answer is all of these situations. We would be using the resumption of play procedure. Yes, my experience with test questions almost led me astray. I thought we had a classic test question, but no. Moving on. After successful basket by A, Team B may handle the ensuing throw-in in the following legal manner. So Team A scores a goal. It's after a scored goal. What can Team B do? A, Team B may only have 2 players out of bounds at once. Is that a restriction? B, Team B must conform to the designated spot throwing guidelines. C, any Team B player can move along the end line while holding or bouncing the ball. Or D, Team B may bounce the ball off of the back wall directly to a teammate in bounds if done within 5 seconds. Okay, D is a violation. You must pass the ball directly onto the court. Casually bouncing it off the back wall, getting style points, no, can't do that. That's a violation. There is no restriction, as in A, that only 2 players, potentially 5 players, could be out of bounds in a situation where there's a non-designated spot throw-in. B, Team B must conform to the designated spot throw-in. No, this is a non-designated spot throw-in after a scored goal, right? So our correct answer would be C. Any Team B player can move along the end line while holding or bouncing the basketball. Which of the following results in a traveling violation? Which of these results in a traveling violation? A1, in an attempt to end his or her dribble, muffs the ball. taking 2 steps before he or she is able to control the ball. That he's ref. That's got to be something. That has to be something, right? B, A1 is holding the ball with one knee on the floor, begins dribbling, and stands up. Come on. C, A1 is holding the ball with one knee on the floor and stands without moving the pivot foot. Or D, none of the above. A1 is holding the ball with one knee on the floor and stands without moving the pivot foot. All right, situation A. Oh, the gym goes crazy. Everybody thinks that's something. That is a legal play by rule. So is B, and none of the above, therefore, would not be correct. By the process of elimination, our correct answer here is C. A player who is holding the basketball may not attempt to or get up. Our player has done that on this play. A1 passes the ball from behind the three-point line. It is deflected upwards by B2, who is also behind Team A's three-point line, and the ball enters the basket from above and passes through the net. Had the deflection of the ball upward not occurred, the ball would have had no chance of entering the basket. How many points are scored by Team A? Okay, let's make it this scenario. A team A1 is behind the three-point line. They throw a pass to a teammate, right? A cross-court pass, let's say. B2, who's also behind the three-point line, deflects the basketball. It goes high up into the air and goes into the basket. In the official's judgment, they did not seem to be attempting a try in this instance. How many points would be scored for a ball that was thrown from beyond the three-point arc, deflected by an opponent, and enters the basket? How many points would we award? The opponent is also behind the three-point line. 0 points, 2 points, or 3 points. Well, any ball that passes through the basket while it's live is going to score points. So 0 is off the table. In high school, which may be different than other levels, this is a 3-point goal by rule. A thrown ball from behind the three-point arc that passes through the basket is considered to be a 3-point goal by rule. As non-intuitive as it may seem, as the fact that it may differ from other levels, how other levels would handle this play. Team A's head coach is engaged in inappropriate behavior by repeatedly attempting to influence the decisions of the officiating crew and objecting to the crew's decision by rising from the bench and using gestures. The coach's behavior has not risen to the level of requiring a technical foul. How should the officials address this situation? A lot of words. A direct technical foul should be issued to Team A's head coach. That's certainly on the table. B, an indirect technical foul should be issued to Team A's head coach. C, given that this is the first minor offense, the officials should verbally warn Team A's coach. Any second minor infraction should lead to the formal administrative warning being issued and recorded. Okay. The soft warning. D, the official should stop play, have the scorer record a bench conduct warning to the scorebook, and then notify Team A's head coach that he or she has been warned. Okay. First of all, indirect technical foul, no, right? So what we have is a situation where a head coach is repeatedly objecting to decisions, rising from the bench and using gestures. This is behavior that certainly needs to be addressed, okay? If in the official's judgment, this does not rise to the level of a technical foul, this should be handled in the fashion of an administrative warning. By rule, there is behavior that rises to the level of needing to be warned, but does not yet rise to the level of a technical foul. This should result in an administrative warning being put in the book and the coach being informed that he or she has been warned. With Team A leading by 6 points, which of the following is or are true when B1 is fouled on a successful try so near the expiration of time in the fourth quarter that the timer is unable to stop the clock after the foul and the ball is in the air but before time expires? B1's goal is awarded and no free throws are attempted. B1 is awarded 2 free throws. B1 is awarded 1 free throw, or B1's goal is canceled. Team A is leading by 6 points. Which of the following is true when B1 is fouled on a successful try so near that the timer is not able to stop the clock? The horn sounds, the clock shows 0. The try was released before, the foul did occur before, but the clock, it was so close to 0 that zeros show on the clock. So we're going to score the goal in this instance, and the player is due a merited free throw in this situation. But in a situation where time has expired and merited free throws are due and it will not affect the outcome of the game, the officials are instructed to not attempt free throws in this situation. One of our points of emphasis here is handling end-of-game situations, and this is one of the areas that is discussed, understanding when we do not administer free throws at the end of the game. And of course, this question brings up a situation where a foul occurs so close to 0 that the timer's not able to stop. We know that the foul occurred before 0, or do we put time back on the clock without definitive knowledge of how much time that should be in order to attempt free throws? Is that required? Since the foul definitely occurred before the horn, but right before the horn, they were not able to stop. By rule, National Federation of High School, there is no time on the clock in this situation. We do not put time back by rule. So, in this instance, our correct answer would be A. B1's goal is awarded and no free throws, or no free throw rather, would be attempted. When may a cheerleaders or other entertainment be allowed on the court? A, during both a 30 and 60-second timeout. B, during a 60-second timeout. C, during a 30-second timeout. Or D, there are no regulations. Interesting. What we know is that during a 30-second timeout, cheerleaders or other entertainment are not allowed on the court. Right? We don't want that intruding with such a limited amount of time. 15 seconds later, we're going to have a horn. Teams are going to be coming back out. During a 60-second timeout, cheerleaders are allowed on the floor. Of course, before the game, we're going to the cheer administrator and talking about where cheerleaders can be on the end line, etc. And are you coming out on the court during a timeout? It can only be during a 60-second timeout, right? That's part of our pregame responsibility in the game. So our correct answer to this question is B, during a 60-second timeout. Now, the study guide answer is something different. They say that the answer is A, but we're not making that mistake. During a 30-second timeout, cheerleaders are not allowed to come out onto the floor. All right, moving on. A1 has been awarded 2 free throws. During the first attempt, B2 backs out of a marked free throw lane space just before A1 releases the ball. However, after releasing the ball and before it hits the ring or backboard, A1 steps on the free throw line. The attempt is successful. What do we have here? Sounds like a mess. A, there is no violation on the first free throw attempt. First of 2, right? So, do we disregard those, right? B, only the first violation in this case should be penalized. C, ignore the free throw violation by B2 because the free throw attempt was successful. Or D, a double free throw violation occurred, the first free throw is voided, and play continues with A1's second free throw. Okay, so when we have this situation, Thrower is getting ready to attempt their free throw. Opponent of the thrower backs out of a marked lane space. This is a delayed violation by rule. The thrower themselves violates in this situation. This would be a double violation. When there is a double violation or simultaneous violation, maybe more rules book specific, then the free throw has ended and no goal can be scored. Okay? But something we have to keep in mind in this situation as well is, did the actions by B2 backing out, did that distract the thrower? We have to consider that. And if that is the case, then we would disregard the violation by the, or would we? I don't even know. Well, I shouldn't go down that rabbit hole. I'm going to edit that in post, baby. So our correct answer here is D. This is a simultaneous violation. The free throw has ended. No goal can be scored. We would resume with A1's second merited free throw. Which of the following are true if B2, who is in a marked free throw lane space, disconcerts free thrower A1? A substitute free throw is awarded if the free throw is made. B, a substitute throw is awarded if the free throw is missed. C, a substitute throw is awarded if free thrower A1 violates following the disconcertion. Or D, both B and C. So this harkens back to our previous question. If the free throw is successful, no substitute free throw is required. So that would be the case. So B is definitely true and C is definitely true. So if A1 violated, like in the previous play, as a result of disconcertion and the ball went in that situation, we would cancel the score, but we would award a substitute free throw. That's what I was going to hearken to, but I avoided it. But here comes the follow-up question to bring it all into bear. So our correct answer here is D. Both B and C are true on this question. When screening a stationary player within his or her visual field, the screen may be set where? A, anywhere short of contact. B, within 2 steps of the opponent. C, within a step of the opponent. Or D, within a step and a half of the opponent. We are within the opponent's visual field. They can see us coming as a screener. And the player we are screening is stationary. They're not a moving opponent who we have to give time and distance to. So where do we have to stop? Do we have to stop 2 steps away, 1.5 steps, 1 step? Anywhere short of contact is legal. It's not legal for a screener to contact an opponent in this situation. But if we stop short, anywhere short of contact, that would be the correct answer to this question. A, anywhere short of contact. At the end of halftime intermission, Team A has yet to inform the scorer of the starters for the second half. What is the result? Well, this is a serious, serious problem. A, team technical foul to Team A. B, administrative technical foul to Team A. C, no penalty. The 5 players who ended the first half shall start the second half. Or D, no penalty. The original 5 starters shall start the second half. Kind of an obscure situation in high school, right? How often do we have a scorer who could tell us who the 5 players were who ended the first half, let's say, right? Be very unusual. A team shall inform the scorer of who the 5 players are who are going to start the second half, start the third period, and they should do so before the first warning horn. But if they fail to do so, we simply take the players who ended the previous period. There is no penalty in this situation. This is not a big deal. Our correct answer here would be C. There's no penalty. The 5 players who ended the first half shall start the second half. Which of the following is or are true of a kicked ball violation near the end line? A, results in a throw-in anywhere along the end line if it occurs on the throw-in that follows a successful try for goal. B, results in a designated spot throw-in if it occurs at the throw-in that follows an awarded goal, such as in from goaltending or basket interference. C, results in a designated spot throw-in if it occurs on the throw-in spot. Hey, I can't read. Results in a designated spot throw-in if it occurs on the throw-in that follows a successful try for goal. Or D, all of the above. Which of the following is or are true of a kicked ball violation near the end line? So there's a throw-in, and the ball is kicked during the throw-in. If it occurs on the throw-in that follows a successful try for goal, we would still award that team the ability to run the end line. Oh, D is all of the above. Ah, yes, okay. If it occurs on the throw-in that follows an awarded goal, successful try for goal. D would be our correct answer here. Hold on. What am I missing here? I'm missing something. Help me out here. So we have a situation. We have a kick ball during a throw-in after a successful try for goal. What's the difference between A and C? Oh, results in a designated spot throw-in. That is not true. Results in a designated spot throw-in. Oh, okay. I'm going to go back one. So our correct answer here is A. Results in a throw-in anywhere along the end line if it occurs during the throw-in that follows a successful try for goal. If we have a kicking violation that follows an awarded goal, as in B, or as in a successful goal, as in C, we do not have a designated spot throw-in as a result of the kicked ball. There's the NFHS says, hey, we don't want to take away that privilege for running the end line from a team in this situation. They're going to maintain their ability to run the end line. Which of these technical fouls causes a direct technical foul to be charged to the team's head coach? The head coach failing to replace a disqualified player within 15 seconds. Would that result in a direct technical foul charged to the team's head coach? B, the assistant coach disrespectfully addressing an official. C, bench personnel being assessed a technical foul. Or D, none, right? The penalty for not replacing a player within the 15-second interval is a direct technical foul on the head coach. That would be our correct answer here by rule. A is the correct answer. A1, with both feet in the air, catches a passed ball, lands on one foot, jumps, and finally lands on both feet simultaneously. Which of the following is A1 allowed to do? Right? We had a question previously where a player catches the ball in the air, lands on one foot, jumps off that foot and lands on 2 feet. What can they do legally? A, lift either foot off the floor while maintaining possession of the ball and not returning that foot to the floor. B, lift either foot off the floor and begin a dribble. C, this is already a traveling violation. Or D, none of the above. Okay, I know that I've gotten this question wrong in the past. This player who catches the ball, jumps off 1 foot, lands on 2 feet, that is legal action, right? There are restrictions on what they do next. But in A, they lift either foot off the floor while maintaining possession, and they do not return that foot to the floor. That is a legal play. B, lift either foot off the floor and begin a dribble. It must be deemed illegal. C, this is already a traveling violation. That is not true. And D, none of the above would not be true. Our correct answer here is A, lift either foot but not return it. The player in this situation may not use either foot as a pivot by rule. A pivot by rule would be to lift a foot off of the floor, establishing the pivot foot, and then returning that foot to the floor. That would be the definition of a pivot in this situation. All right, that ends session number 3. California Basketball Officials Association study guide questions. We're looking at the questions. We're using them to help us have a stronger understanding of the rules of high school basketball. We'll have one more session. Stick around for that. Coming up next, something like that. I don't know. Oh, I pulled my ass out of the fire on that one too. I've had 2 saves, 2 crew saves, but by me. Where's my crew at? Come on. Oh, okay. All right. So how do we do? I completed the whole thing in 1 hour and 45. I'll probably be able to edit it down to 90 minutes. Boy, it seemed like I was going really fast. It still took 1 hour and 45. Wow. It's slow going. So what I hope to do with these as well is make smaller videos, right? So in the end, I end up with, 200 questions and answers, and I can edit them in YouTube, make them into YouTube shorts potentially, if I can get them under a minute, or what have you. Okay, well, I appreciate everyone joining today. My goal today was to be a little more brisk. I think I've achieved that. We started on time, but I am going to end in a timely fashion as well. David, if I fall out of my chair... Rules by topic. Wait, this could be like a thumbnail, a YouTube thumbnail, right? Rules by topic. It's a book in lieu of the case book. Referee Magazine produces this. It basically acts as a case book, but there's lots of editorial comments, which are, for the most part, accurate. Let's put it that way. But that's what this is, rules by topic. Lots of illustrations, signals. Yeah, that's what that is. RBT, rules by topic. All right, right on. Okay. All right, gents. I will see you all tomorrow if you're here, and if you're not, oh, okay. I understand.